I went from being in a huge drawdown to passing a challenge in a single trade of 4 hours on Friday and then again another 4 hour on Monday. Okay? This is only possible because I sticked with a plan, right? I was having a great performance of like a month ago, and then the losses started to come in. People got into the hype, but then they started to see losses. They were kind of 50-50 about me. Does he really know how to trade? And I stick to the plan, and the wins fucking came. Okay? Because the people were kind of stressing about the losses, about the signals, about me actually knowing how to trade or not. Whereas me, I was calm, I was chilled, because I know that the max amount of consecutive losses I have on my data, it's around 5. So as long as I'm less than that number, I know that everything's okay. It's completely fine to get more losses on the go, because at the long term, I know that I'm profitable and I know that the strategy works. So I maintain that calmness. I continue to do what I'm supposed to do, not change my strategy, not change this concept, not hopped on another strategy, not hopped on another trend, okay? Like most of you do. And at the end, I got paid because I followed the plan, right? That's why they say you gotta follow the plan. You know that, but you break it. So this trade that got a challenge pass in a single trade was a fresh account and got passed in a single trade. You can go check the previous videos, the day in the life where we actually took this, and the other video where I detail it further. But I don't need to lie to you, okay? This is my premium group with my mentorship students, and I took these, okay? You can see the metatrader chart with the arrows in it. Yeah, this is the buy, and boom, okay? And I normally only go for 3R, but this again was a smaller pip stop loss. So hey, back in the day, I used to even like once I had these stop losses under 10 pips, I used to target 5. In here, I could have, yeah. But the thing is, I wanted to go for the liquidity. 5 was a bit of a stretch, as you can see, was 5 pips above the liquidity. Okay, it was still all right, but yeah, the liquidity was on the 4 hour line, so I kept it at 4 because I was only supposed to go for 3 either way. But yeah, because of the stop loss quite small, I went for 4. I went for the liquidity just, and it's only a thing like I have a fixed risk to reward, but I have to think over of where price is going to. Okay, doesn't matter if my stop loss, it doesn't matter if my fixed RR is 3. If I have like a 25 pip stop loss, I know that I'm targeting way too much. Okay, so I shouldn't have a 25 pip stop loss. That's too much for me and my strategy. Okay, so I gotta work within that. I gotta think of my targets as well, even if I have a small stop loss size. Because in here, I'm kind of trading internally. Okay, this was a risky trade to look for the liquidity. Okay, and as soon as we sweep the major liquidity, which is this black line above, we have the safe trade. And I shorted here as well, but it ended up giving me a break even. But as you can see, it worked well. The vision is quite good. Okay, but it's just a unfortunate trade that we got to break even only for these Asian moves that have happened recently that are just I don't know, sweeping the highs of the day and then actually delivering the move. It's been quite an exceptional one because Trump and the terrorist stuff. But yeah, uh, just to say that you got to think about your targets. Okay, I'm targeting. Let's imagine I was targeting 3R on a trade here that doesn't exist. Let's say, okay, super close to the liquidity, and I'm targeting 3R. I'm on this trade because I know this will likely get hit. But if I think that, okay, I gotta remember that I know that this will get hit because it's a major liquidity, but because of it, it will have a reaction just afterwards. Okay, like it did here. Because as soon as we sweep liquidity, we have fuel to go for another liquidity, which will most likely be downwards. Okay, we go from one liquidity to another. So in this trade, it will most likely be a break even because I mean I'm targeting too much. As far as the RR, I'm not. I'm only targeting 3, but I'm way above the liquidity. Okay, so you got to think about that when you have your targets. Okay, because it's fixed RR for me, but I also got to think on the structure thing. If you only go for structures, that's also cool. Then you're already thinking about your targets. But the thing is, by going with structures, uh, you can know if you're profitable or not, but you don't have the mathematical edge where you can say, I have a 50% win rate and a 3R risk reward. Then you actually know, like, oh, okay, you're profitable. Right out of the bat, like, just doing the math, you're profitable in that sense. Because but it depends. If you can get your average risk reward on your data, then cool. But the thing is, like, most of y'all don't even know your data. You don't backtest. You don't gather the trades you take, the data on the trades you take, and don't journal. So you don't actually know if you're profitable or not, and you're already jumping the gun in with these prop firms and all these things. Not going for a mentor, whereas it could be way cheaper and you could be start winning way sooner rather than just putting that money that you're throwing in the trash on prop firms accounts that you will lose anyways. Okay. So to detail this trade right here, as you can see, we're going up, breaking this structure, okay, which is an inducement, which is a fake high. Okay, I consider this an inducement because we're also going up from here. This is how I say market moves. Okay, we're going up, but we sweep in liquidity within it. Okay, so we sweep that. It's also equal low by coincidence. Okay, so I know that smart money traders are just going to see a sweep of equal low and get interested. As soon as we sweep that, we do break a structure above. Okay, so in here we are already doing the trap in this case on this London low, but we are in New York session. So if we're in a different session, okay, then the liquidity then we're sweeping, we gotta wait for an additional trap. Okay, so I couldn't trade right here. I had to wait for an additional trap. If this whole thing was in New York session, then I could trade it right here. But because this is two separate sessions, then I'm gonna wait for an additional trap. Okay, sounds complex. That's how it is. Watch more of the channel. But I promise you, it's valuable because I don't keep the information private. Okay, you can get profitable with my YouTube videos. Okay, so as soon as we sweep it and we do a breaker structure above, meaning a fake breaker structure right here, boom, we sweep this. We sweep this as a trap. Right here, we sweep it twice. Same thing that happened with the challenge pass. You can go check the trade breakdown on the previous videos. Okay, we sweep it once, then sweep it twice on this week. We have some structure to place ourselves here. We do a big impulse, okay, a sell in order to buy, as you can see by this impulsive candle. And because this was a trap, okay, this order block right here, I knew that this would become a trap. That's the smart money trap cycle I teach. And then, as you can see, what a beautiful rocket. All right. At the beginning, it was already cool. And then we had PMI, if I'm not mistaken. And PMI, I explained this on my stories. That's why you should follow me on Instagram as well, because I'm dropping daily content over there as far as trading goes as well. So the news were forecasted to be good for the dollar, but liquidity and the structure is telling me otherwise. It's telling me that we're going to go up. We're going to go up. Sorry. So I already knew that news are just setup accelerators. Okay, the news will just follow the technicals. Okay, if you manage to read liquidity well, and the liquidity is right here. So in my head, I've experienced it many times, is that when the forecast is priced for something a certain way, a certain direction. In this case, it would be bearish for the USD, and liquidity is telling me otherwise. I know there's going to be a big surprise, meaning the total opposite result on the forecast, and we'll have the move towards our target or what I'm thinking price is going. And that's exactly what happened here, because the news was forecasted to be good for the dollar, ended up becoming being released bad. So then price just gone up, just did what it was supposed to do as far as liquidity goes. That's just because like you can't just trust fundamental news like that, at least on the lower time frames. Okay, we're going to go to liquidity, and then the way you trade these news, high impact news at least, is that you'll see either a sweep of liquidity before the news in order to give fuel for it to deliver the move, or you'll see uh, before the news release, you have a price in the middle of nowhere, and then going towards the liquidity to sweep that liquidity. Okay, so in this case, you actually have kind of both scenarios. I would say more of the one to search for the liquidity, because this liquidity was quite weak, let's say. It's an internal one, but this is major. So the news movement was delivered to search for that news, for that liquidity sweep. Sorry. And yeah, guys. Yeah. So that's it for the video. Make sure you join our free Discord. Okay. You won't have access to this unless you become a student of mine with my daily analysis and all that stuff. But you can definitely join us. You can definitely share with people here or your trades, your analysis, with your ideas. What are you thinking? You can check our achievements, our monthly results, some profits. But uh, if you come here and you're active, I promise you, you'll see results. There's a lot of people that I don't know why they join. I'm just expecting this. I'm thinking they just expect some signals or some magic formula for them to get profitable. Okay, but you won't get that. Though the way I've seen guys here with less than a year experience get super good was by them joining and get active. Okay, ask questions. Boom, what are you guys seeing? Boom, what is this? That's how you become good. It's not by coming there. Oh, okay, there's not the magic formula. I want to be a successful trader. I'm going away. I'm going to Pornhub. That's not how you become profitable, man. Okay, so it's not to say that your only option is to join our group and get profitable. There's many other options, but just put in the work. Don't try to look for an easy way. Okay, just do the work. And if you want help with your trading, you can obviously contact me. Reach out to me on either my Discord or Instagram. Watch out for the scammers on Discord, though. Okay, my only Discord is the yellow one right here. Okay, on the group, the owner. Okay, so yeah, guys, leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and goodbye.